Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Matt, a photographer based in Northern California and generally cool dude who wears sunglasses inside. Only today. And the reason why I'm wearing these sunglasses today is because today's video is about making a preset in Lightroom that's based on what your sunglasses look like. And if you're like me, you might have a pair of glasses that they just make the world look like a cooler place. When you put them on, in my case, they give the world an orange, kind of like color shift, desaturated look that feels very cinematic and cool. And I was in San Francisco, I was out taking pictures, I was using the Nikon ZF, which by the way, I am just absolutely loving. This is the second time I've purchased it. I hated it the first time, I love it the second. I'll do a video on that at some point. But I was out shooting with this camera and I found myself just wanting to mimic what I was getting in my sunglasses in camera. And the way I was doing that was I was taking off the glasses, I was putting them up to the lens and I was taking pictures. And in doing that, I thought to myself, what are you doing, Matt? You can just create a preset that looks like your sunglasses and apply it in Lightroom later. And so that's the task I set out for myself. Now, the first thing I did was when I was in the field in San Francisco, I took a couple shots that I call calibration shots. All right, so first I just wanted to share how I calibrated. So I took these two images. One of them is with the Nikon ZF shot through these sunglasses, and the other is just normally shot on the Nikon ZF with no sunglasses applied over the lens in the field. We can think of those as like no filter in the field. And then I applied the preset in post. And hopefully when you look at these two images, you're not really sure which one is which. And that's because hopefully I did a pretty darn good job of creating this preset, or else I wouldn't be making this YouTube video. But let me reveal which one is the one that was shot normally, and that is the one on the right. So I found this lovely older couple near the Ferry Building in San Francisco, and they were singing together, and I just thought that's a really cool, cute little scene, and it looked awesome through the glasses. And so I've taken these two shots here to show you and illustrate how effective the preset is. And I actually kind of like the preset one, to be honest, a little bit more than I do the one through the sunglasses. Not only is it sharper, which kind of makes sense because I'm shooting through glasses here, and the autofocus wasn't perfect, but also you have a little bit more saturation, and there's a sort of desaturated look with a strong shadow, but you still get that nice desaturation. So when applying a preset like this to your image, you want to think about the exposure and the white balance of the image, and that's something that's pretty hard to adjust for in a preset because we all shoot differently on our cameras. We all have different overexposures and underexposures. We shoot in different types of light. We might be using different types of white balance. The cameras that we use might use different auto white balance. And as a result, we end up with different white balanced image and different exposed images. All right, well, finally, I just wanted to talk a little bit about how to apply a preset. And the easiest way to do that is from a functional perspective. If you're just trying to load in the preset, you can go here to presets on the left side, and you just click this little plus sign in Adobe Lightroom and you import preset, and then you will find your preset wherever you download it and import it into Lightroom. So it's fairly easy to do. It's called Warm Shades is the name of this preset. And then the other thing to note is just that the exposure basic corrections section of Lightroom, this section right over here, is an area that you're going to want to make adjustments to address any exposure issues with your image, if you overexposed or underexposed, if your white balance was off in some way, if you find it not contrasty enough with the lens that you have, whatever it may be, you'll want to make those adjustments. And you can do that before you apply the preset or after. I kind of like applying the preset and then making those tweaks after as necessary. The preset itself does include exposure tweaks to accentuate the contrast and drop those highlights and dehaze a little bit to give it a little bit more punch. So it does include those changes, but you might want to make after application tweaks to your basic settings to adjust the exposure and get the desired composition and crop that you're interested in. So That's all I wanted to share today. I took these glasses, I made them into a preset, and I make that available to you, and I hope you enjoy it. I'll see you in the next video.